Welcome to old Buddhist philosophy. September arrives not merely as a month, but as a sacred threshold, a passage between what has been and what is yet to come. It stands like a great river, carrying away the burdens of the past and bringing the fresh waters of renewal to those who are ready to receive. The winds whisper of cycles shifting, of endings giving birth to beginnings, of doors quietly closing only so others may swing open with grace. In its still nights and radiant dawns, the universe speaks to those who listen, a language not of noise, but of symbols, signs and numbers carved into the fabric of time itself. The Buddha once reminded us that impermanence is not a curse, but a teacher, and in its lessons we discover freedom. September carries this wisdom deeply, for it is a month of release, transformation, and awakening. To cling to what is fading will bring sorrow, but to step forward with courage is to walk in harmony with the rhythm of the cosmos. Just as the lotus cannot remain hidden beneath the mud forever, we too are invited to rise, to unfold, to bloom into the light of change. Throughout history, mystics and seers have spoken of such times, moments when the veil between the seen and unseen thins. Nostradamus often hinted that destiny is not chaos, but a code, a series of patterns written in stars and numbers. Baba Vanga, too, whispered of numbers as living entities, carrying vibrations that influence the soul and the journey it must take. And now, in this sacred turning of September, certain numbers rise from the silence, like guardians of fate, guiding those who dare to notice their call. These are not ordinary numbers. They are the pulse of the universe, the keys to alignment, the silent teachers of destiny. Each one carries a vibration, a lesson, a gift. To some they may seem like coincidence, but to the awakened heart, they are revelations, reminders that life is not random, that energy has form, that time itself moves with intention. In their presence, you are invited to listen not with the mind alone, but with the spirit that dwells within. And so, 6 sacred numbers emerge in this month of September, each carrying the fire of transformation, the wisdom of impermanence, and the promise of renewal. Alongside them, a 7th appears, a rare and powerful bonus number, echoing like a hidden mantra of destiny, waiting for the one who dares to open its door. Together, they form a sequence not of chance, but of deep alignment, guiding you toward what is already written in the currents of your soul. As we begin this journey together, let me ask you, do you feel the universe gently guiding you this September, or are you still holding on to the illusions that keep you from hearing its call? Number 11, the Master Light. The number 11 rises in September like a double flame, a sacred mirror of higher awareness and spiritual awakening. It is not an ordinary number, it is a master vibration, one that carries the energy of divine alignment, prophecy, and hidden sight. In Buddhist philosophy, we are taught that the truth cannot be reached by adding more to the mind, but by peeling away illusions until clarity shines through. The number 11 carries this same teaching. It is the lamp in the dark room, the still voice within that whispers when the world outside is too loud. It is known as the number of the mystic, the seer, the visionary. Those touched by its vibration are called to lift the veil of illusion, to see what lies beyond the ordinary. Nostradamus, with his cryptic quatrains that continue to echo across centuries, embodied the essence of this number, seeing in symbols and visions what others dismissed as impossible. Baba Vanga, though blind to the physical world, saw deeper than sight itself. Her gift was not of the eyes, but of the spirit, and this too is the power of 11. It reminds us that real vision is not always with the eyes, but with the soul. September carries this light with unusual intensity. When 11 appears before you in time, in dreams, in repetition, it is not by accident. It is a sign that the universe is speaking directly to you. Perhaps you see the clock at 11:11, or numbers repeating around you, Perhaps a dream lingers when you wake, asking not to be forgotten. Perhaps an intuition flashes across your mind like lightning. Do not dismiss these things as chance. They are the gentle taps of destiny, the voice of the sacred, calling you closer to the path meant only for you. In Buddhist texts, it is said that the mind is everything. What you think, you become. Number 11 magnifies this teaching. It amplifies thought, turning it into creation, turning vision into reality, but it is also a warning. What you dwell on, you invite. To carry the vibration of 11 is to walk with fire. It can illuminate or it can burn. Your task this month is to choose wisely what you feed with your energy. Do you nourish fear and doubt, or do you breathe life into courage and light? And so, when 11 stands before you this September, see it as both a gift and a challenge. It is a call to look inward, to trust the whispers of your soul, even when logic cannot explain them. It is a reminder that you already carry the answers, waiting in the silence of your own being. The question is whether you are willing to pause, listen and follow. Reflect. Will you trust the inner light of your soul, even when the outer world cannot see where it is guiding you? Number 27. The Cosmic Healer. If the number 11 was the light that awakens vision, then the number 27 is the hand that heals what has been revealed. In September, this number rises like a gentle tide, carrying within it the essence of compassion, mercy, and restoration. It whispers to the soul, true greatness does not come from conquest, but from tenderness, not from domination, but from love. In Buddhist philosophy, the Buddha taught that karuna, compassion, is not weakness, but the highest form of wisdom, for it allows us to recognize that all beings are threads woven into the same eternal fabric of existence. The number 27 embodies this teaching, reminding us that to heal another is to heal the universe itself. Throughout history, the vibration of 27 has been linked to those who carried medicine, not just for the body, but for the spirit. Mystics, sages, and visionaries have long known that healing flows from unseen rivers, and that love is the truest remedy. Baba Vanga once spoke of a time when the wounds of the world will be healed by love. Her prophecy echoes now, in this September, as 27 rises with gentle power. It is the number of the healer, who does not impose but restores, who does not judge but embraces, who does not wound but soothes. Like a monk offering prayers in silence, or a mother calming a child, this number teaches us that the most profound strength is often invisible, flowing quietly through acts of kindness. In numerology, 27 also carries the hidden essence of the number 9, the number of completion and soul embodiment. This means its power is not merely to comfort, but to transform, to close cycles of suffering and open new paths of wholeness. Just as the moon heals the restless tides, so too does 27 heal the unrest in your heart. If you have been carrying unspoken pain, if old wounds have followed you like shadows into this year, September invites you to release them. What was broken can be mended. What was heavy can be set down. What was lost can be made whole. In the silence of your heart, the number 27 reminds you, forgiveness is the greatest medicine. But healing is not only for the self, it extends outward, like ripples in water. Sometimes destiny does not ask you to climb mountains, but to lift another who has fallen. Sometimes your role is not to shine, but to be a mirror where another sees their light again. In giving, you are renewed. In serving, you are blessed. The law of the cosmos is simple. What you give returns. And so, under the energy of 27, your smallest act of compassion, a kind word, a gentle presence, a silent prayer, becomes a seed that blossoms into infinite returns. Nostradamus once wrote that in ages of great turmoil, healers would rise as quiet pillars of salvation. Perhaps he was speaking of times like these, when the world aches and longs for balance. The number 27 carries this prophecy forward, asking, will you be a healer in your own corner of existence? For healing does not always mean medicine. It can mean listening, forgiving, embracing, and choosing love over resentment. Reflect. Who in your life is silently waiting for your compassion, and are you ready to become their healer? Number 10. The Wheel of Destiny. In the sacred silence of September, the number 10 rises like a circle drawn upon the eternal sky, a reminder that every ending carries within it the seed of a new beginning. It is the number of completion, yet also of rebirth, the wheel that turns without pause, guiding us through cycles we cannot always see but are forever bound to walk. In the teachings of the Buddha, the Dharma wheel symbolizes the unfolding of truth, the great rotation of karma that none can escape. For life itself is a constant turning from what was, to what is, to what shall be. When 10 appears, it is not simply a number, but a revelation. It tells us that the story you have lived until now is ready to close its chapter, and a new one is already being written in the silence of destiny. Nostradamus spoke of eras where old empires would crumble and fresh ones would rise from the ashes, and such prophecy is mirrored in our lives. September, under the vibration of 10, carries this same whisper of transformation. What is collapsing is not your loss, but your liberation, for the wheel does not end. It turns. This number also warns us of resistance. If we cling too tightly to what is fading, we may be dragged beneath the weight of cycles already complete. But if we surrender, if we allow the wheel to spin in its divine rhythm, then it carries us forward into realms of growth we never imagined. Baba Vanga often reminded seekers that destiny has its own current, and those who fight it exhaust themselves, while those who trust it arrive where they are meant to be. The wheel also reminds us of responsibility. Every thought, every action, every word becomes part of its design. What you plant now, whether in silence or in action, will return multiplied. Karma is the scribe of the universe, and it forgets nothing. September asks you to walk gently, to act with clarity, and to align your choices with truth, for the wheel is recording each step. And so, the number 10 becomes both your teacher and your mirror. It asks, will you cling to what has already passed, or will you trust the sacred turning? Will you resist the unknown, or step willingly into the new path that destiny lays before you? For the wheel does not stop, it only waits for your acceptance. Reflect, as the wheel of destiny turns in your life this September, are you holding on to the spokes of the past, or allowing yourself to flow with the eternal motion of the Dharma wheel? Number 37. The Seer's Wisdom. The sacred number 37 does not shout, it whispers. It does not call you into the storm. It invites you into silence. September opens the hidden doorway of this number, a vibration that belongs not to the crowd, but to the seeker, the mystic, the one who dares to turn inward when the world demands outward noise. It is the number of hidden knowledge, of veiled truths, of wisdom that cannot be purchased, but must be received in stillness. Like a lantern carried through a cave, 37 is the light of quiet knowing. Buddha once said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The number 37 is this truth, embodied. It asks, why do you chase answers in the chaos of the marketplace when the temple of wisdom has always been within your chest? In September, the energy of 37 is a call to retreat, to carve out moments of silence, and to sit with yourself as if you were sitting with an ancient sage. For the answers you seek outside have long been written on the walls of your soul. Nostradamus, the great seer of France, often withdrew from society to meditate upon his visions, finding clarity only when he stepped away from the noise of men. Baba Vanga, blind yet all-seeing, lived in solitude, yet her voice echoed across nations and generations. Their gift was not born of distraction, but of silence, not of noise, but of inner surrender. This is the essence of 37, the wisdom of the hermit who returns from the cave holding truths that can shift the world. September, under the vibration of 37, is not a month for rushing blindly forward, but for pausing, for listening, for trusting the subtle signs that come in dreams, in intuition, in sudden clarity during quiet moments. Perhaps you have been searching outside for validation, for recognition, for direction. The number 37 tells you this is the month to stop searching outward, for the compass you need is already alive within your spirit. Remember, silence is not emptiness, silence is full. Within it lives prophecy, guidance, memory, and vision. The seers knew this, the mystics lived this, and now the universe whispers the same to you. Do not ignore the subtle voice of your own soul, for it is the oldest guide you will ever know. Reflect, will you continue chasing the noise of the world, or will you retreat into silence long enough to hear the whisper of your destiny? Number 14, the alchemy of change. The number 14 emerges like a sacred flame, a cosmic fire that does not destroy but refines. Its vibration carries the rare power of transformation, the kind that unsettles, the kind that shakes, the kind that pulls us out of our comfort, only to prepare us for a higher destiny. In the teachings of the Buddha, we are reminded that attachment is the root of suffering, and 14 appears as the stern yet compassionate master, arriving in September to remind us that clinging to the old will only weigh us down. To resist its call is to resist our own evolution. Under this number's influence, you may feel life asking you to release what no longer serves, whether it is an outdated belief, a toxic relationship, or a habit that has silently drained your light. In the silence of letting go, a new self is born. Nostradamus spoke often of fires that purify, warning that destruction is sometimes but a veil for renewal. Baba Vanga, too, foresaw sudden upheavals that humanity would endure, only to emerge wiser and more aligned with truth. The number 14 mirrors this eternal prophecy, a storm that strips us bare, not to punish, but to liberate the soul. September is the season where this vibration works with intensity. Imagine it as the alchemy of fire and water, burning away illusions while softening the heart with wisdom. The number 14 carries balance within its design, the 1 of new beginnings and the 4 of foundation. Together they teach that only by letting go of the unstable can we stand firmly upon the unshakable. Change, though frightening, is not an enemy. It is the teacher who whispers, "You are ready to become more than you were yesterday." If you surrender to the current of 14, you may discover clarity like never before. Old wounds may finally close, inner strength may surface, and a quiet sense of freedom may replace the heaviness of clinging. This is not a call to abandon everything, but to carefully observe which attachments are nourishing your soul and which are binding it. When we release with grace, the universe rewards us with new beginnings shimmering just beyond the horizon. The sages knew this well, as the Dhammapada reminds us. Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past again and again. The number 14 holds this wisdom in its essence. It is the shedding of skins, the release of burdens, the courage to walk naked into the light of renewal. Reflect, what attachments are you clinging to that are secretly holding you back? And if you set them free, what new life could finally begin for you? Number 33. The Master Teacher. In the sacred numerology of September, there is one vibration that does not merely whisper, but resounds like a great temple bell, echoing through the valleys of the soul. The number, known as the Master Teacher, it carries within it the light of wisdom, the fire of compassion, and the call of higher service. Unlike ordinary numbers, 33 is not bound to the struggles of the self. It transcends them, inviting us to move beyond ego, beyond doubt, and step into the greatness of purpose. It is the vibration of those who are chosen not only to walk their own path, but to light the way for others. The Buddha once said, "Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened." This is the essence of it is the number of the flame that does not diminish when shared. It grows brighter, illuminating lives with truth, kindness, and spiritual awakening. In this month, if you feel others turning toward you, seeking guidance, do not retreat into hesitation. Understand that the universe is calling you into your role as a teacher, healer, or silent guide. 33 reminds you that leadership in the spiritual sense is not about control, it is about presence, humility, and radiance. Baba Vanga foresaw that humanity's salvation would not come from leaders of power or rulers of nations, but from those who carry the strength of spirit. She spoke of voices that would rise in times of confusion, not to command, but to awaken. This prophecy breathes through the vibration of 33. It is the cosmic reminder that true change begins, not in grand thrones, but in humble hearts that choose service over self. To embody 33 is to embody this destiny, to live not for oneself alone, but as a bridge for others toward the light. Nostradamus, too, in his cryptic quatrains, hinted that teachers of spirit would emerge in ages of uncertainty. Their words, though simple, would outlast the noise of empires. Such is the power of 33. It asks you to stand firm in your truth, to speak not from fear, but from clarity. This is the number that transforms life into a dharma, every act into a lesson, every challenge into an opportunity to show others the way of peace. Yet, 33 is also a mirror. It does not only ask you to guide, but to continuously learn. To be the master teacher is to forever remain the humble student of the universe. The river flows because it is open to the rain, and so too must you remain open to wisdom, to compassion, to the subtle teachings hidden in every sunrise and every silence. Reflect. If the universe has already chosen you as a light for others, are you willing to accept the responsibility? Are you ready to live not just for yourself, but for the souls who find their way by your example? Bonus number 99, the sacred completion. The rare vibration of 99 rises in September like a final bell in a temple, echoing through both the visible and the unseen. It is not a number of beginnings, but of endings that prepare the way for higher paths. In numerology, 99 holds the energy of transcendence, of wisdom distilled after long journeys, of cycles reaching their destined close. It comes not to frighten, but to liberate, for only when a chapter is sealed can a new story be written. The Buddhists teach that impermanence is the ultimate truth, that all things born must one day pass, and clinging only breeds sorrow. The number 9 in Ning carries this same sacred law. It whispers that certain ties, roles, and burdens are not yours to carry any longer. Much like a monk, leaving behind worldly possessions to step into the path of light, you too are being asked to release. This is not loss, it is freedom. This is not an end, it is the gentle bow of the soul before it rises higher. Nostradamus spoke of ages dissolving into ashes so that new civilizations could be born, and Baba Vanga foretold that humanity would one day awaken into higher realms of consciousness. The vibration of 99 is deeply woven into such visions. It is the number of sacred thresholds, moments where we are asked to step from what is familiar into the mystery beyond. Though such moments can feel heavy, they are in truth invitations into transcendence. Consider the lotus, that most holy of symbols. Its roots live in the mud, unseen and burdened, yet from that heaviness rises the blossom, pure and untouched by the dirt below. When 99 appears, it is a signal that you stand at the doorway of completion. The universe is gently but firmly closing what must be closed, even if your human heart resists. Trust this process, for it carries you upward. Every ending you face now is not a punishment, but a sacred passage, a reminder that your destiny does not lie in clinging, but in releasing. Closing reflection. Which cycle in your life is now asking to be honored and released, so that you may step through the sacred gate into a higher destiny?